Good morning, boys and girls, and if you're watching this video, you're ready to cut the letter E. As you know, this week, the letter of the week is the letter E. The letter E looks like this. And what we're going to make is the letter E and turn it into an elephant. So, we're going to paste our elephant on here with the letter E. So let's start by always taking out your pencil box and making sure that you have either glue or glue stick, okay, and your own pair of scissors. Now, the scissors that I'm going to use are the ones for adults, but this one is the one that you should be getting because this is the scissor that you will use to put this little piece in yellow in between the scissor, and it will help you bring it up and down, open and closing, open and closing. So it's very important that you know how to practice putting on your scissor because when you go to kindergarten, that could be a test that they might be looking at you for. So let's begin. The first thing you need to do is cut the letter E away from the pieces that we're going to make the elephant from, because what happens with this is too much. So it's always good to cut all the pieces separately and then start with our cutting. So we're going to start with the edge on the side, outside, and we're going to cut on the black line. So open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Now, this is very important because if you are looking at me, you should be learning to use that one hand holds the paper and the other one is the one that cuts. On the black line, again, we do open, close, open, close, open, close. You tilt the letter E again. And again, you go open, close. See how I stopped? Because I cannot continue if I don't tilt it. Open, close, and I stop. You have to learn how to stop when you're cutting, because when you're cutting, you're just so anxious to cut it all that you're not paying attention to where you're cutting. Okay? You see I didn't continue cutting the letter E? That's because I'm paying attention to what I am cutting. And since I know how to cut, I'm showing you how to cut the letter E. And I'm going to cut that little piece so that you can start seeing the formation of the letter E. Okay? So, let's continue with this part here. And when you're cutting, I've noticed this in the class, but I hope this is not happening at home. Stop looking everywhere and what they're doing while you're cutting. When you're doing like that, you're like, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that because that's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be focused. So you open, close inside of the letter E. Open, close, and remember, you have to be focused on cutting. This is not about you. What's going on? No. You are in pre-K, but you can focus. For those children who cannot focus, parents, there's something at Lakeshore called partition. You might want to buy one. A partition is like a big giant folder that covers the desk or the area and helps them not to distract with what's going on, and they can only focus on what they have in front of them. And that helps them. And I will show you that in another video. So, open, close, open, close. So I already finished cutting the letter E. The scraps, they stay on the side because you're going to throw them away. Now I need to do is start cutting the other pieces, which is the ear, the trunk and the tail. Okay? So let's start with the tail. Open, close, because I know how to cut. I don't have to look at it because I can see it from where I'm recording. Now I'm moving it around. You see my hand is always helping the one that's cutting. And right here, I'm going to peek because I want to make sure that I'm cutting the black line. And then I tilt it over, and voila! Here's the tail of the elephant. Let's go with his trunk. The trunk is something sort of like a nose, and they use it a lot. And let's see what I have here. Okay. Open, close, open, close. This has to be very careful because you're cutting and you don't want to mess up your cutting. Then we turn it around. You see what I'm doing? And that is something I love. So there is my trunk. The next piece you need to cut is his ear. You're going to cut the ear. See, I know what I'm doing because I don't need to look at it because I'm seeing it from there and from the back of the paper, because the back of the paper has a marking of where I traced with the marker the ear. So your scraps go in the garbage, and now we're going to start the pasting. So let's put this in another position so that you can see what I am creating. Okay, hold up a little bit. You don't need the scissors anymore. So let's tilt the video camera, and this is the letter E. So the first thing you have to do is take with your two hands and flip over your letter E. Take the cap off your glue stick and raise a little bit the glue stick so that you can start going in circle. Circle is the only way that you are going to catch every single piece of the gray on the letter E so it doesn't come off or open or curl up. Okay? Your other hand should be holding the letter E so it does not move. Now, putting the glue stick to the side, I use my two hands to press, flip and press my letter E. So now that I have it, let's start by making it look like an elephant by putting his ear. Remember, we flip it over the other side and we paste the letter E. Okay? Now I flip it over and I'm going to just pull it up so I can press because I'm on the edge of my table. And now I have an ear. Now let's do the trunk. The trunk can go down or it can go up, but if it goes up, you got to flip it because it's not going to go up. So I'm going to continue pasting my trunk again. You're holding on one side and you're going in circles on the other side of the trunk. So now I have a trunk. I'm going to put the trunk here because this trunk works. And if I needed to reposition, you just take it off and put it back the way that it should. Repositioning means I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put it the way it should. And finally is the tail. I'm going to put it on the back side and I'm going to paste the tail. So now I have a tail. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put the cap on the glue stick because if you don't put the cap on the glue stick, your glue stick will dry and then you can't use it anymore. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to make the eye, but you have the eye already made in a circle. So you have to paste the eye right around here. First the white, then the black dot, because you're going to have a white dot and a black dot. But in my case, because I forgot to make the dot, I'm going to draw a circle that makes the dot. And then I'm going to make a little circle dot in the middle of it. And this is my elephant. Now, you have to put your name either on the top or the bottom. And then you take a picture, click, and you send it to me through Google Classroom. Google Classroom. Don't send it to me, a parent sending me a picture on WhatsApp or anything like that, because that's not the way I grade. The way I grade is when you send it to me through your student email and you send an upload picture of the letter E. And remember to put your name on your work. All right? The next video that I'll be doing probably tomorrow will be about the memory game. If you got an envelope with some cards that look like shapes, don't play with them yet until I teach you how to play memory. Okay? This is for those who are virtual. Now remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.